Hey guys, welcome to class. This is Holly with Flow by Holly. Today we are working through a lovely shoulder opening flow. Okay, so bringing a bit of space between the shoulder blades and just loosening everything up. Awesome for those days if you've been hunched over the desk, or if you just need a little bit more movement through the spine and a bit of openness. So we're going to come down into our child's pose to begin. So as always, bring the knees wide and then just drop the chest forward and down. Elongate through the underarms and push down under the armpits. And then just breathe. 3 deep inhales and exhales through the nose. Just finding this moment for you today to let go of anything that's come before or anything that you're doing after. Just finding a bit of stillness and a bit of a cup filler just for you. Stretching out the fingers long now. Let's bring the gaze up. Open the eyes and perhaps set a little intention for our practice today. Maybe a word or a thought. As we stretch the fingertips forward, can we feel as though we're reaching to the end of the mat, but we're really trying to hug the hips and the pelvis down into the back of the mat here. From here, making our way straight up into tabletop position. Hands are underneath the shoulders, wrists underneath the shoulder blades. I want you to just find this position first and then come to brace the core. So finding that Uddiyana Bandha, that's the brace, the tension hold through the pelvic floor area and right through the waist. And it's a kind of position we want to really be mindful throughout the whole of the practice, so bringing stability. Now let's inhale, take the gaze high, find that nice arch through the back. And then as we exhale, push the mat away. I say this every time, but really exaggerate these movements. Inhale, chest comes high through between the shoulders. And then exhale, pushing the mat away again. One more round, in. And exhale. From here, let's bring the fingertips to point towards the knees. And then just sway back and forward. Just loosening up through the forearms, through the biceps. Just finding a little bit of fluidity here. And then bringing the hands out to the edges of the mat now, and then coming side to side, really pushing the shoulder blades up here. Beautiful job. And then from here, we're going to come to puppy pose. So I want you to bring the fingertips forward, but keep the bottom high, and then just drop the torso in between the biceps. And just breathe. Well done, placing the fingertips back into the mat, coming up into a downward facing dog. Just pedaling out the feet and the toes. One heel down at a time. Just finding that beautiful length down the backs, the hamstrings. Just not worrying too much here about whether or not, your legs are straight or bent. Just take the pressure away. Okay, so yoga's not about coming into that perfect posture or position every time. And every time you step on your mat, you're going to feel a little bit different depending on how warmed up you are, what time of the day it is. So many factors. So just go with it today, okay? No pressure on where you should be. From here, we're going to start to tiptoe the feet to the top of the mat, inch by inch, really sucking in through that core like we did at the beginning. And then just grasping each elbow, take a sway side to side. Deep inhale. Beautiful job. From here, let's step onto the palms, sorry. And we're going to come into gorilla pose. So bring the toes to the creases of the wrist. And then just lengthening out through the spine. Finding that lovely deep stretch down the back. And down the backs of the legs. And then just let that go. Let's roll up to stand. Inch by inch, stacking the vertebrae. And then just rolling the shoulders up, back, and down. Bringing the hands to heart center. Just finding a little bit of grounding here first. Thinking about even pressure into your mat here. So feeling even on both sides of the body. The weight is evenly distributed. As we open the eyes, let's sweep the arms high. Inhale. And then as we exhale, fold. Fingertips to the mat. Halfway lift. Exhale, fingertips back to the mat. Let's step the left foot back. And then drop the knee down straight away. Inhale, arms go high above head. Low lunge. And then exhale, cactus the arms. Again, inhale. So bringing the weight back over that left knee. And then exhale, retracting the shoulder blades here. Squeezing them together. One more. Inhale. And exhale. So finding that open position already through the shoulders. Hands come to frame the front foot. Let's lift up that back left knee and then just step to a high plank. From here, you can drop the knees for this first one or stay up in a high plank and just come all the way down through your chaturanga to the mat. From here, let's bring the fingertips back towards the rib cage. And then I want you to squeeze the lower back body and squeeze the shoulders together. And just breathe in the cobra pose. Everything is fired up here, the glutes, the hamstrings, even my little toes. Exhale, let it go. One more round. And this time let's bring the hands to hover. And can we think about really retracting the shoulders again? Opening the chest. Okay. And just breathe, find a bit of ease, hovering the fingers. Exhale, so coming through your knees or pushing up into a high plank position and then rolling up and over, downward facing dog. Same thing, let's step the feet in inch by inch. Really juicing out these movements. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep the arms high. And again, folding to the mat, fingertips frame the feet. Halfway lift. Exhale, this time stepping the right foot back, dropping the right knee, and coming up into that low lunge. Beautiful stretch through that right hip flexor here. So shifting the weight back instead of being deep into this lunge, I want you to shift everything back, 90-90. And then as we exhale, cactus the arms. And again, inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, well done. Last one, inhale. Exhale, hands come to frame the front foot. Stepping back again to the high plank, moving through your chaturanga. So coming down, I'd say 2/3 of the way. And then shifting the weight forward onto the tops of the toes. And let's just hang out here for a minute. And that upward facing dog. It's often so rushed, this pose. But it's such a lovely little transitionary back bend. And then as we exhale, finding our downward facing dog. Tiptoe the feet towards the top of the mat again. And then straight away, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep the arms high. Find length down the side body. And then as we exhale, let's step the left foot back. Drop that back left knee. Inhale, arms sweep high once again. And as we exhale, cactus the arms. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, last one. Exhale, this time let's bind the hands behind us and just take a little baby back bend. lengthening out through the biceps and retracting the shoulders. Beautiful job. Hands come to frame the front foot. Step back to the high plank, moving through your flow. Chaturanga, upward facing, downward facing dog. This time it's jump or step to the top of the mat. Coming to our halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweep the arms high. Exhale, we fold. Again, right foot steps to the back of the mat. Drop the back right knee. Straight away, inhale. Exhale, cactus. Inhale. Exhale, cactus. So we just warm everything up first, finding a little bit of flow. Bind the hands behind us. Reach the fist back to the foot. Maybe take the gaze high here, let the neck go. And then frame the front foot once again, stepping back to your plank. Moving through your chaturanga. And meeting in a downward facing dog. 2 breaths here, or drop to child's pose for a moment if you need. Just recenter. Like I said at the beginning, no pressure on where you need to be today, guys. Sometimes it's just about getting on your mat and simply just having some time for you. I know this is what, a lot of the time for me, this is what it comes down to. And then the strength and everything else that comes with it is just a little cherry on top. From here, let's step or jump to the top of the mat. Meeting in that halfway lift. Exhale, once more we fold. As we inhale, sweeping the arms high, gaze goes high. And then exhale, hands come to frame the feet. Step or jump to the top of the back of the mat. And just move through a chaturanga this time. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. From here, let's center the left foot, lift the right leg high. 3-legged dog. Maybe just take a little hip yawn here. And then as we exhale, stepping that right foot forward, keep the left knee lifted this time. As we inhale, coming up to that high lunge. Exhale, cactus. This time let's sweep the arms forward. And again, so we're taking these little circles through the shoulders as we cactus, and then we come into arrowhead. Inhale, exhale. And again, inhale, exhale. This time binding the hands again behind us. Reach, reach, reach. Chest comes high to the sky. And then exhale. Place the fingertips down to frame the front foot, stepping back to a high plank. Move through your flow. And meet in downward facing dog. Straight away, let's center the right foot, lift the left leg high. Find that beautiful hip yawn first. And then exhale, stepping forward. Keep that back right knee lifted. High lunge. Or of course, drop it if you need. So if you need to be here, guys, that is fine. Always just use me as a guide as to where you can go. Inhale. Exhale, cactus and circle. 4 more rounds like this. So just always using your practice as a way of sort of seeing as well, like what your body needs. Do you need to take a little bit more today? Or do you need to just hold back? And that is fine. Sweep the arms high above head. Exhale, cactus. And then find that bind, reaching for the back right foot. Beautiful job. Let's squeeze the shoulder blades together. Open through the chest. Well done. Hands come to frame the front foot. Step back to high plank, moving through your flow. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. So adding on as we go. Let's center the left foot, lift the right leg high to the sky, 3-legged dog. And as we exhale, stepping forward, ground the back left foot this time. Knife edge points into the mat. And then open up to warrior 1. just find that little bit of stability first. So can we drop a little bit lower? Can we bring that left hip point a little bit closer to the front? Okay, so it's almost like we're swiveling the little hip points around. And then just breathe. From here, let's bind the hands behind us. Reach the fist down to the left foot. And then drop forward, humble warrior. Okay, so that right shoulder nestles into the right knee. And we try and pull that right hip back. Take 2 breaths here. And then we lift back up. And this time let's bring the hands back up. Warrior 1, stay with the heat. I want you to swivel the foot up so the heel's now lifted and we're in a high lunge. Back where we began. Find that stretch through the back left toes. And then find length right the way up the sides of the body. And then as we exhale, cactus the arms, drop into that lunge, and then sweep the arms forward for 1, for 2. Well done. And for 3. This time, keeping the arms forward in your little arrowhead position. I want you to stay with me here. We're going to come into warrior 3. So we're going to bring the weight into that front right foot and then fly forward. Flexing the back left toes. Maybe focusing on one spot here. And imagining like I'm pulling you from the hands and the foot at the same time. Well done. Coming back out the way we came in. So I want you to plant the back toes down. Inhale. High lunge. Exhale, cactus. Retract the shoulder blades. Squeeze. And then drop the fingertips to the mat. Well done. We're just going to bring the left hand about 1 inch forward and then rotate all 10 toes over to the right. Twisted Skandasana to just release through the hips there. That was a lot of holding and stability. And as we inhale, let's sweep the arm high overhead. A little bit of a side plank variation. And then just plant the hands back down to frame the front right foot. Stepping back to your high plank, moving through a flow. Upward facing to downward facing dog. Well done, team. It's quite a lot on one leg. Just pedal it out, maybe taking a child's pose again if you need. Just for 2 breaths. And then we're going to come back to the other side. So centering the right foot this time. Inhale, left leg goes high, 3-legged dog. And then as we exhale, we're going to step forward. Plant the back knife edge of that right foot and come up into your warrior 1. So just sinking low here. Just as we did before, finding that nice rotation through the torso so that we're pointing the whole of the front body forward. Okay, so avoiding that kind of cranking out sort of way. And then find length. Okay, so instead of just flopping everything down, I want you to think about growing through the back body, through the torso. Staying here, and then let's find that nice little bind again behind us. Reaching, reaching, reaching. And then diving forward, humble warrior. So left shoulder this time nestles into the left knee. Gaze comes down. And just sort of find some ease in these longer holding postures, using the breath as a little tool. And just knowing that you're going to come out of this pose, okay? Finding the sweetness and knowing it will end. As we come back up through center, we're going to swivel on to the balls of the foot there at the back and then bring the arms high. High lunge. Okay, so we're on the tops of the right toes. And then let's just juice down into that front left knee. And then shift the weight slightly back. From here, grow as you inhale. And then as we exhale, cactus the arms again. And then sweep the hands forward. Well done. Inhale. Exhale. And again, inhale. Exhale. You know where we're going. So coming through the arrowhead first. Okay, so thinking about even weight distribution again through the whole 4 edges of that front left foot. And we're going to step into it, okay? Pretend like we've got 2 feet up the top. I want you to bring the weight forward. Tap that back right foot down if you need, just to get into things. Beautiful job. There's so much strength in this pose. Right through the core, through the hamstrings and the glutes. So just holding here again, imagining like I'm pulling you in both directions. And then can we just rotate the big toe of the right foot down, okay? And just notice how that allows the back of the right leg to face the sky. Well done. Coming back out the way we came in. Inhale, high lunge. And exhale, cactus the arms, bringing the right hand down 1 inch forward. And then let's swivel all 10 toes away to the left this time. Just find that beautiful. Oh, I love that one. If you want a bit more, maybe just drop that left hand behind you. I didn't do that on the other side, but that's okay. Sometimes you just go with what feels good. Okay, so look behind. And then bring that left arm up and over. Little side plank variation. And then just bring both hands back to frame the front foot. Stepping back into a high plank and moving through your flow. So low plank, upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Everybody drop here to a child's pose. So bring the knees wide. Let the chest just melt in between the biceps. Maybe take a little sway side to side. Just releasing through the groin and the hips and the pelvis. Beautiful job, just taking a breath. Well done. From here, just coming to sit onto the knees. If you need to take a block under you, then you can. We're just going to play with a little bit of camel here. So start with sitting on the knees. Bring the palms to face the ceiling. Close down the eyes. Just find a bit of length first through the spine. And we're just going to simply bring that left hand down to the mat. Extend the right arm over. And then maybe grasping the wrist and just elongating. Stretching out through that right side body. And then just move to the other side. So right hand pulls the left wrist. Try to think about opening through the chest here. Okay, so instead of collapsing the shoulders, can we think about retracting them? Well done. Coming up onto the knees, tuck the toes. I want you to play with reaching for one heel at a time. Let's start with the right. And then just shoot the left hand back behind us. Any amount, just sort of rocking back and forth gently. So the shoulders are really nice and open for this at the moment. Coming to the other side. Beautiful job. You can bend this supporting arm if you need, like a little lever. And then just staying with the one hand, or you can start to try and reach both heels at the same time. And just push through. So we're basically in a wheel pose here, Dhanurasana, but just in a different position. And we'll get to wheel soon. So all of these back bends, I mean, everything is intertwined. So when we're thinking of shoulders and retraction, we're thinking a lot about back bending and opening. Okay, so I think that's what's so good about this practice is you think about focusing on one area and you end up focusing on so many. You know, and helping so many, just dropping back down. Pitter patter out the toes here, just let that all go for a moment. And then simply come back up and over to a downward facing dog. Thinking about the difference here between that first downward dog to now that we're a bit more open and warm. Can you maybe think about bringing the heels down or thinking a little bit more strength, length down the backs of the leg? And move through a final flow before we come down. So let's center the left foot. Inhale, the right leg goes high. Three-legged dog. As we exhale, step forward, warrior one again. Inhale. This time, let's bring the hands behind us again. Punch the fist down to the mat. Open through the chest. And then exhale, humble warrior. Beautiful job. Just staying here for 3, for 2, and 1. As we come back up, swiveling onto the balls of the foot. Arms reach high. High lunge. Inhale. Exhale, extend the hands behind us. Arrowhead. Again, inhale. Exhale, arrowhead. This time is bind the hands behind us in the arrowhead. So again, about that retraction of the shoulders. And let's try to move into warrior 3 from here. So using the momentum and then using the strength. You can stay here if you like, or you can start to bring the back toes in and then grasp around the back of the foot. So a variation of dancer's pose, Nachandasana. Staying here for 3, for 2, and 1. Without slingshotting the foot, let's just come back into that warrior 3. Extend the toes down to the mat and then step back if you can into that little variation of our lunge. So we're still bound with the hands behind us. Inhale. Exhale. Hands come to frame the front foot. Bring that left hand 1 inch in front of us and then swivel the toes over to the right. Twisted Skandasana again. And then this time bringing the hand up and over. This might be enough, stay here. Otherwise, flipping the right foot behind. And just taking a little wild thing. Okay, so again, the shoulders are so lovely and warmed up for this. You can really think about pressing everything together, finding a little bit more openness. And then swivel back round to the top of the mat. Let's just come to a high plank, move through our flow. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. Well done. Centering through the right foot this time. Inhale, left leg goes high, 3-legged dog. And then exhale, stepping forward, warrior 1. So right away, inhale. Just find that nice little position first. And then straight away, bind the hands behind. Reach for the back right foot. And then exhale, humble warrior. So just staying here for 3, for 2, and 1. As we come up, let's swivel onto the balls of that back right toe. And then keeping the hands bound behind us for now. Reach, reach, reach. And then from here, let's bring the hands high. Inhale, low lunge. Exhale, arrowhead. Again, inhale. Exhale, arrowhead. Once more, inhale. And then exhale, bind the hands behind us. You know where we're going. We're going to bring all the weight into that left foot. Coming into our warrior 3 with the bound hand behind us. So bringing the right Toes down to face the mat, flexing through the foot. And then a really active pose. I really want you to think about squeezing the hands. It's almost like we're trying to squeeze the triceps together here. Okay, now staying here if you'd like. Otherwise, starting to bend that right foot in towards the glutes. And then seeing if you can hook. Woo. And if you lose your balance, it's all good. You just come back into it. No biggie. Okay, but playing with hooking the hand around the back of the foot. And balance is, yeah, it's a funny little thing because some days you're really good and some days you're not. Some sides you're so much better on. Okay, now staying here. And it's just about rolling with that, okay? Not worrying if you're falling out of these poses. You just get to try it again. Okay, so without slingshotting the foot, let's loosen that grasp. Coming back through warrior three, stepping the foot to the back of the mat. And then bring the right hand an inch in front of us, swiveling the toes around again to the left. Oh, beautiful. So good. And then extend the left hand up and over, taking that wild thing, if that's in your practice. And just take the gaze forward. Beautiful. From here, swiveling back over into our high plank position. Moving through our final vinyasa, so bringing the weight over the shoulders, over into the wrist. Low plank. Upward facing to downward facing. Beautiful job. From here, we're going to lower the knees and then come all the way on to the belly. And we're going to play with nice little back bends here. Just moving through different positions. So let's reach the hands back. Okay. Bring the fingertips off the mat. And then start to hug the knees, the feet, into the glutes. And just holding here. And then extending the legs long. Okay, so these little curls. We're just warming everything up. And last one for 3. And then just let that go. Drop everything to the mat. Cheek comes down onto the mat here. And breathe. Well done. Just giving yourself another chance here. I want you to firstly peel the chest up and off the mat. Bring the fingertips up. And then at the same time, play with catching the ankles if you can. Coming into your little upside down wheel pose. Okay, so it's made for all of the shoulder work that we've done, the retraction, all of those humble warriors, those binds. Just rinse it out here, maybe drop the head. So again, we're just in our wheel pose, but in a different sort of compass on our mat. Alrighty, well done. Just let everything go. From here, we're just going to roll on over to our back. So just flip on over. No spectacular transitions. Just flip over to your back. Hug the knees in. Find a little release through the lower back here as well. Taking a few circles one way and the other. Beautiful job. Pretty heated practice so far. So coming down now always means a little bit less of that heat, a bit more of that giving back and receiving. Okay, so it is so important to use this side of the practice to kind of re-energize almost. So from here, let's place the feet into the mat, hip width distance apart. Just tuck one shoulder blade under at a time. This is an awesome place to stay. Okay, so if you're going to just stay maybe here, even placing the fingertips under the glutes, just towards the lower back. So good, so beneficial. So don't always ever feel like you need to go further, or that you need to do what someone else is doing. Staying here, maybe let's grasp the hands behind us. Again, we're in that little bind that we've done so much today, just in a different position. Just holding for a little bit longer than what's comfortable. And then release. Okay, so as I said, that's such a nice place to stay, and taking that if you need. Otherwise, if you're coming up into your wheel, which you are definitely warmed up enough for now, then I want you to come in the same way, so bringing a shoulder blade under at a time, and then flipping the fingertips to point towards the shoulders. Just come up onto the crown of the head first, okay, so finding stability, making sure the feet are in a nice alignment for you, and then at the same time pushing into the hands and the feet. Beautiful job, and then just reap all of the benefits of what you've just done, and where your body, maybe it surprised you as to where it can go now. It's nice to start to bring the toes in a little bit, maybe coming onto the tippy toes, and then taking the gaze through, as if you're trying to look at your feet. Beautiful job. I want you to stay with me here. If you have got one-legged wheel in your practice, bringing one leg up, maybe the left to begin, and then bringing the knee towards the center of the chest, okay, so hugging it back. Just feeling that little different movement. Coming down if you need, otherwise taking the other side. Hugging the knee in. And then extend. Beautiful job. Now coming out the way that we came in, so onto the crown, and then on to the back. I want you to just bring the arms high and do little circles with the wrists, okay? So let the blood flow back in, pressure undeniably through the wrists, just let that go. Maybe flick the fingers, and then just taking the right hand and pulling the left fingers down. A little stretch through the forearm. And the other one. Beautiful job. And then from here, let's hug the knees into chest again. Give yourself a squeeze. A little well done for the effort that you've put in today. And for just the showing up, because it's sometimes, with these classes especially, where you're obviously doing this, probably not, in a gym class, it's so much easier to just think, no, I'm going to turn this off now. So honestly, if you've made it to the end of the class, that's such an accomplishment. It's so easy to think, I'll just go watch Netflix or anything else, let's be honest. Or if something's hard, no one's watching, you can just come out. So I think, yeah, it's really cool to see so many of you partaking, and just having that commitment to yourself and to your practice when there's so many distractions. Because it's those moments when you're by yourself, when you're doing these things and you're not giving up, those are the moments that do count. So unseen stuff. Okay, from here, let's take a happy baby. Bring the knees down into the mat. So all that behind the scenes work is what gets you places. So that you can show up on the days, and you can perform. Or you can just feel good. You can just be happy in your life because you've done that groundwork. Can't really expect all of the good stuff without sort of putting the time into yourself as well. From here, let's just bring the feet high. If you've got a wall, that's ideal because you could just place them up the wall. And maybe you even want to take your Shavasana with your legs up the wall. A brilliant place to do it. Or just a brilliant practice at the end of your day. Otherwise, just holding the feet high, Just let the blood rush back down. And then however you'd like to take your Shavasana, with the feet up the wall or just with the legs long, you can come into this now. Just know that for today you've done your groundwork and you've done a great job. Enjoy your rest, Shavasana. I urge you guys to stay for as long as you can. If so, maybe just pause the video here. Otherwise, just making your way back up into a comfortable seat. Bringing the hands onto the knees, just wherever, palms facing the ceiling. Taking one last little roll through the shoulders. Maybe a nice rotation of the neck as well. Beautiful job, guys. I hope you enjoyed today's practice and you feel a little bit looser through the shoulders, and you can have a lovely day. I'll see you next time. Bye.